Investigations Addendum to Authorized Buy-Sell Agreement of the Greater Kalamazoo Association of Realtors. This is an addendum that gets attached to a buy-sell, and if you refer back to the buy-sell agreement, Section 8, Buyer Investigations, D, Result of Investigations, number 1. Buyer may deliver to seller or listing broker a written request for corrective action on the GKAR Investigations Addendum, which is the form that we will be reviewing, or a similar notice, along with any applicable documentation or reports and any applicable written cost estimates. This addendum is attached to and made part of the buy-sell agreement number between the undersigned parties dated blank, covering real estate located at address or legal description would be entered here. So we recommend that the buy-sell agreement number be referenced here along with the date of the actual buy-sell agreement, not when parties signed it, but the actual date of the agreement. In accordance with paragraph 8, Buyer Investigations, buyer has conducted investigations and provided seller with copies of relevant report or reports, an applicable estimate or estimates. Seller acknowledges that this constitutes buyer's notice of unacceptable condition or conditions as required by said paragraph. Down below, you'll see the condition that's unacceptable to the buyer. There's a spot there that you can add, and we recommend that you use language directly from your report within your inspection so that it's clear and that people can understand exactly what the home inspector wrote that may be unacceptable. There's a spot or location for person or entity to complete the work. If you want to specifically name a company to come out and do the repair, or a person, you can name them there. There's also a spot for the inspection report page so that the seller can refer back to your home inspection report and understand what it is that you are trying to let them be aware that's unacceptable. And then there's a spot for the estimated cost to remedy. Now, it is possible that the home inspector does not provide an estimated cost, and there are times where you may actually need to hire other additional individuals or inspectors to come out and also give you estimates that you may have to attach to this so that people or a seller can truly be informed on the expense or what it is that you're truly asking to have repaired. In consideration of the above unacceptable conditions, buyer and seller agree as follows. Seller shall correct/repair the above items in a good workmanlike manner in accordance with the inspection report or reports and estimates prior to close of sale. Seller shall be solely responsible for ordering and supervising said work, which shall be at seller's expense. It's important that a buyer's agent also be aware and verify that all items that have been requested be performed prior to the closing. Referring back to the buy-sell agreement, per paragraph 8, seller has 5 days to respond in writing to the above repair requests. If the seller does not accept buyer's request or fails to respond, the buyer will then have an additional 3 days from the receipt of the seller's written refusal, if any, because again, the seller may not even respond. So therefore, the buyer shall have 3 days from receipt of the seller's written refusal, if any, or from the expiration of seller's allowed time, whichever first occurs. So you could get a written refusal prior to 5 days, or 5 days could pass without having any acknowledgement. Once 5 days have come and gone from the seller, the buyer will have 3 days to now either accept the home as is or provide a termination notice. If the buyer fails to terminate within this 3-day period, the contingencies in paragraph 8 shall be deemed waived. Therefore, the buyer will be accepting the home in its as-is condition. Once signed by both parties, buyer and seller agree that all conditions and contingencies contained in said paragraph 8 shall have been satisfied, subject to completion of the corrections/repairs, if any, except as provided above. All terms and conditions of the agreement shall remain in full force and effect. This at the bottom, you'll see a spot for the buyers to sign and a spot for the sellers to sign.